Hey guys, Nick here, and I have some Black Ops 2 gameplay using this shotgun. I don't really know what it's called, but that's not all that important. I get a really good score this game using the shotgun, so it's pretty exciting. Hopefully you will enjoy that. But what I wanted to talk about today was the next generation consoles, and some of you may not like what I have to say about this. But before you go and hit the dislike button and leave some angry comment about how the PlayStation 4 is going to be some sort of supercomputer for $300. Try to listen to the video and listen to what I have to say. Maybe it will make sense, or maybe you won't listen and you'll just leave your angry troll comment anyways. But yeah, so let's get started. So my claim is that that the PS4 and Xbox 720 are pretty much outdated already. People are talking about how they're going to have these amazing GPUs and CPUs, and they're gonna have like 400 gigs of RAM or something. No, actually, I think the current claim is around 8 gigs, and that's not really a big deal. I don't really think consoles even need that much, but it might be nice to have to future-proof them because they're going to have to last 10 years like the previous pair of consoles have. Now, one of NVIDIA's senior vice presidents released a comment saying that compared to gaming PCs, the PS4 specs are in the neighborhood of a low-end CPU and a low to mid-range GPU. And if you didn't know, NVIDIA is a company and they make video cards for computers, they make processors for tablets, and they make other such things. But essentially they make computer hardware, and they kind of know what they're talking about. They also went on to say that the performance of the PS4 is comparable to half of the GTX 680, which puts it in the range of a GTX 650 Ti, which is about a $150 video card. So that's not really all that bad. Like it seems like a decent deal. If it's priced around $400, you get a $150 video card, you get a decent CPU, you get whatever other hardware, something you could probably make for not $400. It would probably cost you a bit more than that after you bought all the parts, but I'm sure if you really went cheap on certain parts, you could probably make a comparable machine for $400 to $500, and that's what it's likely to be priced at. I did some research. I searched this just before I made the video. The pricing of the Xbox 360 and PS3 when they were released. The Xbox 360 had two models. One was $300, one was $400. The $400 one came with a 20 gig hard drive or something and some other random stuff. PlayStation 4, I believe it was a 60 gig hard drive, but the cheap PS3 was $500 and the expensive model was $600. So if they try to release the PS4 at $600, it would probably be a better idea for you to just buy a computer, because with a computer at least you could upgrade things, and you don't have to stick with that same set of hardware for 10 years until they make a new one. And you also get a computer that can actually be used for other things, like running Windows applications and I don't know, web browsing. I'm sure they'll make these new consoles. They'll have web browsers and wireless mice and keyboards and all that sort of thing. So you'll be able to kind of use them as a computer, but you won't get that full power of being able to run Windows and pretty much run any program that you could on a computer. Anyways, so yeah, the PS4 rumored to have some equivalent GPU to the GTX 650 Ti. I believe the CPU and GPU for the PS4 are both being made by AMD. NVIDIA said they didn't want to do it. That may be why the vice president had such a negative comment, but yeah. The Xbox 720 is rumored to have some sort of custom graphics card based off the AMD 7790, which is about a $150 card. So that aligns with what the NVIDIA VP said about the processing power of the PS4, because it's most likely that the Xbox 720, or whatever they decide to call it, and the PS4 will have nearly identical performance, because I'm pretty sure both companies already know what the other is doing and what targets they're aiming for in terms of price and performance. So they're probably going to match each other, and they're going to be very similar in both price and performance, and it will be certain features that convince people to buy one over the other. So the PlayStation 4 will have an 8-core CPU, a equivalent to $150 GPU, and the rumor is 8 gigs of RAM. I don't think that one's confirmed. The other two I'm pretty sure are confirmed, but I don't think the RAM is confirmed. But it was rumored to be graphics RAM, which is actually kind of impressive because most video cards do not have 8 gigs of graphics RAM, but that will be shared between the video and the system. So yeah, that's not really a big deal. Having more RAM does not significantly affect game performance. Like going between 4 gigs and 32 gigs on a PC, that will not likely improve your performance in any game that I can think of. Maybe if there's some game that uses a ridiculous amount of RAM and you're running other programs at the same time, but for the most part 4 gigs of RAM is sufficient for any game to not be a bottleneck, so that's not really a big deal. And this whole claim about, you know, the 8-core processor, that also is not a big deal. AMD has a ton of 8-core processors that are, you know, easily beaten in benchmarks and real-world performance by Intel's dual-core or quad-core CPUs. Like the Samsung Galaxy S4 has 2 quad-core processors, which is equivalent, I guess you could say equivalent to an 8-core processor. So yeah, your phone is not running games at 1080p and 60 frames per second yet, so don't expect that this thing will be super amazing just because it has an 8-core processor. So the point I'm trying to get across here is that, you know, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox 720 will be significant improvements over their, you know, current generation, over the current generation consoles, but they're not going to be supercomputers. You're not getting a gaming machine that will run games better than a $2,000 computer for, you know, $400 or $500 or $300 or however much they decide to charge for it. You're going to get performance that might be slightly better than a computer of an equivalent price because games are going to be optimized to run specifically on that hardware. That's the only reason the Xbox and PlayStation 3 are still, you know, usable, is because when developers make games, they have that specific set of hardware and they can optimize the game specifically to run on that set. So yeah, that's my opinion. If you have an opinion, feel free to leave one. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for some more, and I'll see you later. Bye.